A 2023 Harvard study found that out of everything it looked for as far as the root causes to help people have longer, healthier lives, the number one thing the study found that people should focus on is their relationships. So to help solve some of the relationship crisis that we have around the world, I have created this upcoming 3-day eternal honeymoon extravaganza. I am bringing together 15 speakers from around the world in the love, sex, intimacy, and relationship space to help you finally have better passion, have better sex, have better connection, communication, intimacy, and more. And this event is normally $397 and it is on sale right now for $1. So I hope you will prioritize your relationships and join me at this epic event. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. We're talking today about thyroid and thyroid's impact on libido. And if you've had your thyroid tested, do not go away, because the first thing I'm going to talk about is misdiagnosis. So many people are in situations where they're like, wow, seems like I might have thyroid issues. Maybe I've put on some weight, maybe your hair is falling out, maybe you have some constipation, and probably you're fatigued. And then you get your thyroid tested and your doctor's like, you're fine. But here's the problem. I'm going to tie this all into low libido, but I just want to make sure that if you're like, I don't need this because I tested my thyroid and I'm good, that you hear this information. So thyroid testing, most commonly that is done by conventional doctors, is looking for TSH. TSH is not your thyroid. That's so interesting, right? Like the number one thing that we are using, that we are testing for in medicine to measure thyroid function isn't even thyroid hormone. TSH, you might have heard of this before if you've had your thyroid tested, is a brain hormone. This brain hormone is telling your thyroid to work. So we're seeing if your brain is communicating correct with your thyroid. If everything's going right, it can be a good marker for thyroid. However, if your brain sends the signal, TSH, and it's sending a ton of the signal, and your thyroid's not listening, your thyroid's not responding to the brain, your thyroid could be off. And sometimes your brain hormone is even normal, but your thyroid is off. So we want to make sure we're actually measuring thyroid hormone. So these are things like T4 and T3, and this is when we get into problem number 2 with testing. So with thyroid hormone, T4 is your inactive thyroid hormone. It doesn't do anything for your cells. It doesn't give you energy. It doesn't promote weight health, like healthy weight, any of that, until we take that T4 and we convert it into its sister molecule, T3. T3 is when we get really excited about thyroid, right? Because T3 is the molecule that will help your cells have energy. It will help you have great hair. It will help you not be constipated. It will help you maintain a healthy weight. All of that is T3. So most doctors are testing only TSH, the brain, and if they do add on another value, they tend to only test T4. We want to make sure that we're testing T3 because that's active hormone. And just like I talked about in my testosterone video that I released a couple weeks ago, if you've seen that, in that video I was talking about how we have the amount of a hormone your body makes and then the amount that your cells can use. So we also need to consider the value called free T3, which is the amount of the hormone that your cells can use, because sometimes we're making it and your cells are not using it. And finally, and there's more than this, but I don't want to overwhelm you with all this information, but finally, another big piece of this, just a quick interlude, because I want to address that it is so common that people are struggling to prioritize their relationships and their intimate life between jobs and kids and caring for elderly parents and so much more. Sometimes it can just feel like a last thing on the to-do list. Now, if you're struggling with that, or if you're struggling with having better sex or having good orgasms or lasting longer or erectile dysfunction or pelvic pain or something else in the sex, emotional, relationship, intimacy space, you are definitely going to want to take a moment right now so you remember to sign up for the Eternal Honeymoon Extravaganza. I have 15 speakers that I've specially curated and picked from around the world for a very complete and holistic look and teachings and actionable steps from everything under the sun, sex, and relationships. So take a quick minute, go click on that link and register to make sure you remember, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now let's get back to our episode. It's called reverse T3. Reverse T3 is a form of thyroid that if you're making this, you will block good thyroid from working. So you can have all of the great free T3. So again, free T3 is your thyroid hormone that is active, that the form that your cells can use. That's what we want. But if we had this reverse T3, it comes in and it blocks regular T3 from working. So you can have all this great hormone, but your cells still can't use it because it's blocked. So we want to think about all of these things to really understand thyroid health. And of course, to link it back to the main point of this channel, libido, the thyroid is directly related to libido for many ways. One, if you do not have energy, how are you going to want to be intimate? There's no energy. Where is that? So a lot of people are running around with thyroid hormone problems and no libido because their doctor told them they're fine and there's not. And if you want to get more information on testing like this and the details, definitely pick up a copy of my book, Want to Want It. But beyond that, I also want to bring up body image, right? Because it's very, very common that when we have thyroid issues, we gain weight. And I'm all for body positivity, right? I'm all for body positivity. Love your body at any size. Absolutely. Worship your body at any size. Absolutely. But here's the thing. When we put on weight, we tend to get our blood flow slows down. We tend to get glucose problems. We tend to get metabolic issues. We're not processing sugar correctly. Our cells aren't functioning as well. Sometimes our mitochondria of our cells are not functioning as well. So all of these things make you fatigued. All of these things do not lead to a great libido because when you're fatigued at a cellular level, how are you going to have energy for this? So again, as I talk about in my channel, there are many root causes for low libido. There's never one. I don't almost ever see one. There are occasions, but almost never just one, because usually it's a combination of things like thyroid and your hormones and circulation and pelvic floor health, but also emotions, right? Also body shame, also genital shame, also communication. Also, are you bored? Are you doing anything novel? How are you? Are you talking about sex? Are you trying new things? All of these things matter, but I wanted to focus today on thyroid. So if you are fatigued at all, if you have constipation, if you have hair loss, any of those things, you could have a thyroid problem. And if your doctor has only tested TSH and or free or total T4, it is not a complete test and you might have thyroid issues and not even know it. And that might be the driver of low libido. So if this has been helpful, please do subscribe to my channel. Please do please do take notes of those tests I mentioned. So to review that for you, you do want to get TSH, you want to get free T4, you want to get free T3, you want to get reverse T3. That is your minimum to assess thyroid. You can also add on additional tests such as thyroid antibodies, such as a total T4 and total T3. But the minimum four to really do a good assessment are TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3. Write those down. You definitely want to ask your doctor and be an advocate for yourself to really evaluate thyroid. And then make sure you're working with somebody that knows how to evaluate, because the other thing, remember, I also talked about this in the testosterone video, are our reference ranges, because they're really big and you can be in the reference range but on the top or bottom end of that range and still not be optimal and still have a thyroid problem, just not bad enough for it to be diagnosed. But if it's not working optimally, you're probably not going to have that great of energy. Your brain's not going to work as well. You're definitely going to have to push it oftentimes to show up for sex and intimacy with your partner. And we don't want that. We want you vital. We want you happy. We want you intimate easily, and all those great yummy things. All right, so that is my thyroid speech, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe if this has been helpful, and I'll see you all again soon. Ciao for now.